order to better understand our reactions and perceptions, let's take a look to the four major functions of the human brain. The cerebrum or brain cortex is the largest part of the human brain, associated with higher brain function such as thoughts and actions. It's divided into four sections called lobes. The parietal lobe processes sensory information that has to do with taste, temperature, and touch. The occipital lobe is responsible for the visual information from the eyes. The frontal lobe carries out higher mental processes such as thinking and decision-making. And finally, the temporal lobe is responsible for the information gathered by ears. Let's look at each lobe and their functions. The frontal lobe is located at the front of the brain. Here are its major roles: reasoning, motor skills, high-level cognition, expressive language, right and wrong understanding, hold long-term memory. The parietal lobe is located in the middle section of the brain. His functions: cognition, information processing, pain and touch sensation, spatial orientation, speech, and visual perception. The third lobe, the temporal one, is located on the bottom section of the brain. His functions: object recognition, face and person, hippocampus insight, necessary for memory formation, store memories and information from 5 senses, location of primary auditory complex, interpreting sounds and language we hear. Finally, the occipital lobe, located at the back portion of the brain. What are his functions? Interprets visual stimuli and information. Primary visual cortex insight receives and interprets information from the retinas of the eyes. Location of primary auditory complex. It is very interesting to note that our left and right brains have different functions. Our left brain is responsible of the right side of the body and is the more artistic and creative side of the brain, covering art awareness, creativity, imagination, intuition, insight, holistic thought, music awareness, left hand control. While the right brain function is responsible for control of the left side of the body and is the more academic and logical side of the brain, covering analytic thought, logic, language, reasoning, science and math, written, number skills, right hand control. Our brain is a complex machine. Let's take a look at the triune brain, the neocortex, thinking brain, the limbic, the emotional portion of the brain, and the reptilian, the survival brain. In the last stage of our evolution, the neocortex brain was formed, the thinking brain. It evolved during the Eocene and Oligocene epochs. It regulates logic and thought required for complex social situations. We share it with monkeys and chimpanzees. Let's take a look to the limbic system, our emotional brain. It evolved during the Jurassic period. The limbic brain regulates mood, memory, and hormone control. We share it with older mammals such as dogs, cats, and mice. What does it mean, and what is exactly the reptilian brain? The reptilian brain evolved during the Triassic period. It regulates hunger, temperature control, fight or flight response. We share it with reptiles such as fish.